they're trying to make nice with Azerbaijan in some ways. This is like a symbol of cooperation, but did you really have to go out there in a helicopter? Like, couldn't you? Isn't there like I know it's in a mountainous area, but like it just seems
it's quite remote.
I think they probably did have to go in a helicopter. I just don't think it's worth it.
No, but the question isn't why did they have to take the helicopter there? It's why, upon seeing the change in weather conditions, was the helicopter insisted upon at that moment riding back? So, I mean, look, many have said that high-profile guests often stress the importance of their schedules in the face of, a pilot saying, well, I don't think these conditions are great. And, people are saying, oh, there's all this fog around. They shouldn't have been flying. There was no visibility, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. And one can imagine a scenario where a president, many appointments, many other women who are not his wife he must attend to, etc.
Raisi's a coxman?
I
or
don't
are you
know.
just saying in general?
In general. One can imagine a scenario.
You're thinking of Kobe.
Where he's saying, okay, we got to go. I don't care about your silly, stupid-ass fog.
Simply fly above the fog.
Sure. Get me home. I have a schedule to adhere to. And then, well, the fog takes you.
So, just the other day, what is it, 2 days ago? Was that Sunday that this happened?
I think so, yeah.
I think
Sunday.
I believe it was
during the games.
Sunday, the 19th that this happened.
I didn't really pay attention.
President Ibrahim Raisi and Foreign Minister, and you really, listen, I got to tell you again, born and raised in America, barely speak any other languages.
Just French.
I'm just a little bit of French, but only maybe if I see you at the park. Hossein Amir Abdollahian. I don't know how to fucking pronounce it. The foreign minister of Iran, who is classically by the way, you're going to see the epithet hardliner thrown around a lot. A word you really basically only see in Iran.
Hardliner.
Hardliner. People love saying there's some hardliner clerics there. The mullah, a hardliner attached to the mullahs.
Clerics are only described as hardliners.
You never have. They're healers, frankly.
Well, I don't know. It's their business, not mine.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily in Iran, but just in general, the profession of cleric is usually someone who can lay hands upon another. But they're always like the hard line, and it's like, what does that mean? How come you don't call guys hard line here?
Yeah, we don't really.
Hard line is kind of a cool thing to be called.
We should start. The hardliner, Joe Biden.
The hardliners in the Biden administration. See, that gives it a completely different slant, right?
Oh, God, they're being unreasonable. They're so hardline.
Biden seems to be dominated by the hardliners in his foreign ministry.
Oh, now you're
which is true. I mean, it's probably pretty easy to dominate.
Sounds like, the beginning
Joe
of
Biden.
A different type of story.
You think it? No, I'm not going to say that. They were on their way back from, as Liz said, a damn christening scenario where they broke a bottle of Topo Chico across the bow. This little town called Khoda Afrin to Tabriz, which is like the regional capital. The helicopter was a part of a convoy of 3 helicopters. The other 2, of which I believe did not crash, but I believe it was part of this convoy of 3 of them. Very foggy. I mean, you saw videos and pictures of the aftermath, and it seems like it maybe just hit the side of a fucking mountain.
I got another TrueAnon rule I'm going to just throw out real quick. Always split the convoy.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's kind of fucking
seems like
crazy
kind of,
they did.
I mean, I know a lot of people have pointed this out, but I do think that it is classic enough line for us to inaugurate into the TrueAnon rules, which is always split the convoy.
And
Grace
listen,
and I, we never traveled together.
No, never. We travel. It's an entire motorcade, right?
We're always in separate. We fly in separate planes, but we make sure to take flight paths that are right next to each other, so we could look at each other outside the windows.
Exactly, and of course the Gremlins.
Yeah.
Compare Gremlins.
Sure.
I gotta say it's crazy. I mean, maybe they had someone even more important in the other helicopters, but I'm like, you don't want the president and the foreign minister in the same helicopter.
Also, we kind of know who's more important. There's only like one or 2 guys that are more important.
There's literally only
Just
one guy, the
guy.
supreme leader, which is I guess who Raisi was supposed to. He was kind of being groomed, to replace when the supreme leader heads up to heaven.
Yeah, we got to deal with all the grooming.
And now he's got to groom another guy. Pause.
Yeah.
So,
Grooming hardliners, huh?
they're flying, and again, I think maybe you're thinking of, the helicopter, presidential helicopter. So you're thinking of like Marine One, the U.S. helicopter, which is Fortnite, Roblox, everything you could ever fucking want, Minecraft.
Yeah.
And
It also kind of looks like another helicopter 8. It's helicopter.
It does look
it's
like
real
a
beefy.
large. It's like I feel like it's a naval helicopter. Maybe I'm just saying it's marine, but those
It's
ones
a
are always
thick boy.
so big.
Definitely a thick boy.
It is but the helicopter they're flying is basically a civilian version of a Huey, which is like a helicopter that's not been. I think it's been literally discontinued. But it's like the one that they have is something like 40 years old. They can't get spare parts for it, which I'm not really sure that was necessarily a factor. But I think it's like onboard electronics are not up to snuff, right? Regardless, don't fly into the fog in the mountain range. I'm just gonna. That's called the Kobe Bryant rule. That's just not. It can happen to him. It can happen to you because he was probably flying on a much nicer helicopter. And it's hardly the first big air incident that's happening in Iran in the past 5 years. Remember after they killed the U.S. and Israel assassinated General Qasem Soleimani.
Yeah.
By the way, like 3 days into 2020, which is what that was his revenge. he got his spirit came back and haunted, which rightfully so. The Iranians shot down a Ukrainian civilian airliner that was, I believe, taken off from Tehran.
Yeah.
I just got to say, guys, it's be careful on them skies. Because listen, when they were trying to do the hostage rescue, remember when those brave Iranian students took those fucking pathetic hostages in the American embassy? When Jimmy, it was Carter sent his little helicopters out there, all them motherfucking crashed in the desert, right? It just does not seem like helicopter conducive land.